Here we go. PAX East Day 2, brought to you once again by the wonderful Coke Cherry Zero. Well, non-paid advertisement.
We need the caffeine is what it is.
We need Coke. We need this brought to Canada. This stuff right here needs to come to Canada. Make it happen. Because I'm gonna buy every case of it in the U.S.
Don't tell them that before we try to take it back across the border. You're gonna have to pay duty on that now.
I was drinking. Let's not make it come out my nose on the show.
Fair enough. Well, it's all over your surface too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, welcome to PAX East Day 2. We're going to give you our day in review here. You know what? I think overall, though, Tico, Day 2 was not as exciting as Day 1.
There was not as many standout titles.
No,
there was a few things that I really enjoyed, but nothing that really jumped out like I have to get that immedietely.
Yeah, there were some good ones. Like, there were some actually surprise games that I wasn't... in fact, a couple of games we didn't even plan to see, and then we did because we had extra time, and boy, am I glad we saw them.
Yeah, there's a couple that were really good. Actually, before we start with that, one of the things I do want to give a shout out to, we talked yesterday about Cinelinx,
yes, that's right.
the movie game, and we mentioned that... Sean's got the... We mentioned that I wanted to get the expansion packs, and we looked them up on Amazon. They were like $50 a piece.
$50 on Amazon.ca.
On Amazon.ca.
Yes. They're supposed to be $10 for the expansion pack.
So we popped back to the booth yesterday and mentioned that, and the guys at the booth were fantastic. They basically agreed. They just said, like, well, just here, give me your information. I give them my address. And I bought the 3 expansion packs I didn't have for $5 a piece, and they're going to ship them out to me for free in Canada.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Free shipping.
Free shipping to Canada.
$15 for 3 extra expansions. Yeah. What were those 3 extras?
There is the Academy Award winners expansion, the horror expansion, which is one I really wanted to get.
Which is perfect for you because you and your wife love horror and thrillers.
Yeah, so that's the one I really wanted to get. And then there is a Red Band edition, which is based off of the R-rated comedies, I believe she said.
Is that what that is? I thought you said something to do with the unrated trailers.
Red Band is the type of trailer that you get when you see an unrated trailer.
Unrated trailer, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's called Red Band because that's what it is.
So I'm perfectly happy with the superhero expansion that I got yesterday because that's, I mean, I don't do horror a lot of, I mean, I don't know.
We had some real trouble after a 12-hour day trying to play that game last night.
I wish we were filming our game last night.
It was quite interesting. Maybe we will we'll do that soon for.
We will film a game of Cinelinx and kind of show you how to play it. That's our plan. Yeah. We hope to do some game stuff, but that's in a future episode. But for today, let's stay on PAX East Day 2.
Yeah.
First of all, you can see back here I have Munchkin Marvel, which I found today, and for some reason I got it $3 cheaper than you.
I think that's just because the guy couldn't do math.
Well, it's strange because it says right on here.
It's $25.
It says right on here. You can see the price, $24.99. I hand the guy a 20 and a 5. He gives me $3 in change. That's not $25.
It's just us Canadians getting screwed even further with exchange rates somehow. Even when we pay an American.
Yeah, but I got money back, so it's
good. I know,
good.
But it's good. But even your money's that much better than ours. That somehow when you pay in the actual thing, if you paid in Canadian, it would have been $75 or something like that.
On Amazon.ca. All right. Follow up from yesterday, a game we mentioned called Manual Samuel, which was a game we mentioned that you had to control every aspect of Samuel.
Yeah, we actually had a chance to get hands-on with that today.
Brought back from the dead, and his curse is that he has to do everything for himself. So the player literally has to control this character, and more so than we thought. So we start playing the game, and the screen goes like bright white.
Whited out.
Totally washed out, and I'm like, what's going on? The guy says, oh, you have to blink.
Yeah.
you have to blink.
Tap A to blink. X and B.
X to breathe in and B to breathe out.
Yeah. You have to control each step of your walking.
Yeah, left trigger, right trigger is each
and you
leg.
You have to get through your daily routine. So I think we made it up to the point of brushing your teeth.
Well, we were so unbelievably dirty because he had to go to the washroom, and I couldn't. He basically peed on himself because I couldn't control him.
The screen told us after Sean had finished that is, you peed horribly. Horribly.
And unfortunately, you know what? The concept of the game sounds hilarious.
It is hilarious.
But it is very, very tedious to play.
Yeah, I don't know how... I mean, if that's like a 2-hour game, I can't imagine 2 hours of hitting buttons like that. I mean, maybe I don't know.
What a unique concept.
It was fun. I mean, we joked about this. I said I'd love to throw that gameplay aspect into stuff like Halo, or like something like that. Just toss that into Division or something like that. So you have to get through the dark zone while breathing and blinking and
to breathe.
I think that would be fun.
Maybe my sniper rifle would stop swaying if I stopped breathing.
Yeah, right? But so would you when you passed out.
Right. But so Manuel Samuel, it was interesting to play. It was fun. It was unique. It was funny to watch.
Yeah. And when it comes out,
but I
will end up getting it and playing it because I get
everything.
I get everything and I play everything. So I will end up playing that and telling you how the full game is on the show.
All right, then.
At some point. Yeah. So.
But I don't know if it's something you'd ever finish. But anyway, let's move on.
Well, when I say the full game, I mean the amount I play.
Yes, exactly.
Just the full game.
Another follow-up from yesterday. So yesterday we saw a lot of digital CCG games.
Yep.
We saw another one today called Forced Showdown. It actually had a different name last year because when I sat down and started playing, I'm like, I've seen this game before. They had a different name last year. I can't remember the name offhand, but they had to change their name because someone else already had that name.
Yeah.
So they've changed it. It's now Forced Showdown. It is a collectible CCG game, but it's a twin-stick shooter, arena-style
so
game.
You play as one of 4 characters in the arena trying to take out the enemies, and then at the end of the match, one of the cards is drawn from your deck, and that will give your character a boost as you try to make it through.
Right, and you can build your deck. You can put the cards in that you want in your deck. So you've got all the cards. You build it however you want. Your character levels up and gets more powerful the further you get. And it's a roguelike, so when you die, it's game over, and then you start again. Yeah. The levels are procedurally generated. They're literally arenas, little mini arenas. And you're just there to get rid of all the enemies in that area and then move on to the next.
Yeah.
And after each round, as Tico said, you draw a card from your deck, and I really enjoyed it. It played really well.
It was fun. I'm actually interested in that one. When that comes out, I'd like to give that one a try. I think it was single player only that we got a chance to play.
It is a single player only, and they're launching it as single player.
Yeah.
Did they say there'd be multiplayer?
He said their plan is to add multiplayer as DLC down the road.
But really fun, and great controls.
Coming to console as well, I think he was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. PC and consoles.
Yeah.
This is a game called From Beneath.
Yeah, this one here we just happened to be walking past. It sort of got drawn in based off of the artwork.
The artwork on the wall of their booth, basically, because as soon as I looked at it, I was reminded very much of Until Dawn.
Yeah.
It's what it looked like. It looked like an Until Dawn, and sure enough, it is kind of an Until Dawn. It's
I think he said that the art was inspired by that.
Yeah,
as well.
it's a horror survival story on iOS
for the phone, not even the tablet only. This is
for the phone.
It is a survival horror game. I was actually pretty impressed. We didn't get a chance to actually play the game, but the gameplay footage that we saw was actually pretty impressive for. Basically for your iPhone. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to checking this out. They got real actors. I mean, it's all video capture. It's like playing. Imagine Until Dawn, that kind of a game, on your phone.
Yeah, I just want to point out before we continue. Sean is sitting on 3 phone books, which is why he's that much taller.
I am
in
not.
This video.
He's a really small guy. He's like this big.
I am 5'11" and
his
a half.
head is only this big.
5'11" and a half. And a half. It's important.
It's the angle of the video. This is how they do The Hobbit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you're a Hobbit. I'm Gandalf.
All right, let's just go.
Okay, what's next? What do we got?
In Between.
All right. I think we have a video for In Between.
We do.
This is an interesting game.
Puzzler, which is...
Yes, I love puzzles.
So there's an interesting story to go with this game as well. So there's cutscenes and stuff like that that tie in. So your character has just found out he has cancer.
Yeah, it goes through the 5 stages.
The 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
So some of the, I suppose, enemies or effects on some of the levels that you're going to have to deal with are those stages. So you have anger, which if you hit that, you die immediately. There's these bubbles of red.
Yeah.
There's depression, so that's that black screen that seems to follow you. If you're looking at it, it goes away.
Yeah.
If you're not looking at it, it can, if it touches you, it'll try to creep up you, and it'll kill you. So this is a gravitational game. So you have to get from one side of the thing to the doorway, and you can walk on the floor regularly, but you control gravity with the other stick.
Yeah, you're changing gravity.
Yeah.
So you switch it up
but not just
four
up and
different
down.
directions.
Yeah, like left and right as well, and it's really, really neat. We were not nearly as good as the developer who walked us through it, who has fantastic at it and just flew through some of the levels.
Well, he developed it, so he knows
yes.
he knows the answer to all the puzzles. Interesting. The one we're looking at now, he actually is controlling that block throughout the level instead of himself.
Yeah, so that's why it looks like he's just jumping around in one place. But
yeah.
He's trying to maneuver those blocks into where he needs to in order to open that gate.
To open the door and get out. Yeah, so interesting game, surprising. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. Looking forward to trying it out. I love puzzle games, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
But as Tico said, it is a story about denial. It's the 5 stages of denial, or 5 stages of grief. This one here that he's about to go into is denial. And where you have basically grief is sneak up on you. If you don't look at the darkness, it tries to chase you. You have to stay in the light.
Yep.
They add many different mechanics to the levels as you go on. The next one that we saw, a game called Mekazoo, and this is
or Mekazoo. We're debating this.
Yeah, we're not quite sure. I say Mekazoo, he says Mekazoo. Tomato. But this is a great couch co-op game.
Yeah. So it is a single player game as well. We played the co-op version of it, and you play as one of 2 mechanically enhanced.
Mechanically enhanced?
Yes,
so Mekazoo?
Spell mech.
Mekazoo.
Spell mech.
Yeah.
Spell mech.
They are spelling it their own way.
Either way, I say Mekazoo, whatever. We'll see when we see an actual.
We'll ask the developer.
Yes, we'll ask tomorrow.
But couch co-op, so here Tico is playing as the frog, and I'm playing as an armadillo that moves really fast, like a Sonic. The original Sonic.
Yeah, like he speeds up. Now the interesting thing is you were playing at the same time.
Yes.
And there's a button that you have that you can steal control of the character. So as the frog, if Sean will fire off something and jump up off a cliff, and then I have to steal control and try to grab onto a ledge or something like that, and then Sean will have to steal control back.
Right.
In order to try to finish off the thing. So it's cooperative, but you have to steal. So you see
have to take control in order to get through
I'm the frog here. I'm flipping around. I jump, and then Sean flipped. I think Sean.
Well, I'm supposed to here. I should have. There we go. That becomes me as the armadillo going through. But yeah, you really have to work together on it as co-op. Now, I'm assuming in single player you would just switch on your own.
Right.
But interesting, beautiful game, as you can see.
Yeah.
Really gorgeous looking game.
Yeah, it really reminds me a lot of Ori and the Blind Forest with the art style.
It is, yeah, for sure. But the level design actually does have a Sonic feel to it.
Yes. Because you're jumping through, you're trying to get through the levels fast and, taking out the enemies as you do, like by turning into a ball and hitting them.
Yeah, so that's also, I believe, coming to console.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we also have another game called Lumo, which I was really, really impressed with.
Another puzzle game.
It's isometric. It's room by room. There's something like 260 rooms. Is that what they said? with this game. 260 different rooms. You gain different abilities as you go. So when you first start the game, you can't even jump.
Right. So you're learning how to jump. It looks like we played the first section of the game, so we didn't get past it. But I saw at one point it looks like you have like a staff to shoot fireballs and stuff like that.
Eventually, I'm assuming, but we never got that far. But a great little puzzle game. I was really surprised by Lumo.
It encourages you too. Like it's not like you go into you can see a little square shaped room here, and there's a door, and there's a way to get to that door. But it encourages you to look for other things. So there was one where the guy said, "Well, why do you think that's there?" And jump off the map into a
hidden room,
a secret.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the things he was saying is if there's a bookshelf, typically there's some way of getting on top of the bookshelf, and into a secret room. Right. So you're going to learn there's things to look for in this game.
Yeah.
That aren't obvious.
Yeah, it was really fun. This is also coming to console as well. This was supposed to release last Friday, and it got bumped back.
Oh, I don't remember him saying that.
I chatted with him while you were playing.
Oh, okay. So you tend to do things like that.
Yeah, well, somebody has to ask the questions.
Yeah, I just want to play the games.
Yes, Sean just plays games. I ask questions. It was supposed to launch. It got pushed back into until the end of May on console.
Okay, excellent. I really, really loved that game. And the sound in that game was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, clean, like, not noisy. It was just, like, in some rooms, it was literally just your footsteps.
Yeah.
A little hint of background music.
I like what they did with the elevator music.
Well, there was one scene that you get in an elevator, and it's sort of outside the game. It's mechanical all of a sudden. It's like you're in an elevator, yet it's got a very medieval look to it. And then you're in this modern elevator, and then all of a sudden you get this Rick Astley's type elevator music. It's just hilarious. You know, a lot of in-jokes. The developer has thrown in so many nods to classic video games from the Super NES era, because that's what he's designing this after, was a Super NES style, isometric view game, because he's like, people don't make these games anymore. Well, I'm going to make one.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And I was really, really impressed with that game.
Yeah.
Swing Star. Oh man, Swing Star.
This was
another surprise.
A fun game. I went into things. It looks like shareware. Like going to the booth, they have this tiny little booth there, and I'm like, this is just some shareware game, and it is
VR. It's a VR.
It's a VR game, and it is a shareware game. It is like that style of game, but it was so much fun.
Yes.
You play as this little kid.
It's basically like a bungee cord on his helmet.
Yeah. And you basically have to grab and release. Yeah. That's the one action. You grab and release, and you swing from point A to point B. There's a number of different waves. I think they said they have 40 on this build right now.
Yeah, your object is there's a bell at the end of the level somewhere that you have to get to. That's your goal.
Yeah.
And you are grabbing, and the bungee cord falls down, swings up, pushes him back up, and then when you let go, he flies through the air, and then you have to... So it's a VR. The only thing... Everything's 3D, of course, but what you're doing is you are looking around, and when you look at your target, that's what you're going to grab onto.
And one of the really interesting things to watch is watching somebody else play that. Because there's a couple of times I was watching Sean, he'd overshot his target.
I had to literally turn around in my chair.
In his chair, look behind him to try to still grab up and grab that thing.
So much fun, though.
Yeah. And I think that's coming out just in May.
It's not too far away.
They showed it off on Oculus, and actually
I played it on Oculus.
Yep, and I actually got a chance to try it on the Gear VR.
The Gear VR they had there working beautifully on Android.
Yeah,
same experience on your phone. On Gear VR as I experienced on Oculus. So I played both.
Yeah,
it was the same experience, just as much fun.
Yeah, and price point for that was fantastic. Gear VR, I asked him the pricing because I do that.
That's what you tend to do. While I'm playing the game, he's getting the information.
So, $2.99.
What?
$2.99 on Gear VR.
That is fantastic.
That gives you the 16 levels, and then on the Oculus, it's going to be, I think she said around $9.99. And that's going to get you the 16 levels, but it's also going to get you their upgrades and updates. So whenever they have something new to add in. And one of the things that said that they wanted to do was they're adding in to this game boss battles. And the way they describe the boss battles is like you have to use your thing to pull yourself up like a giant or something like that, and immediately spark Shadows of Colossus in my mind. And like I mentioned that to her, it's like that's exactly what we're thinking. So a game like this, it's very cartoony, but being able to pull yourself up with VR,
yeah, for sure,
that's going to be fun.
It was a lot. I was having a blast. I honestly didn't want to stop playing.
Yeah,
it was really, really fun. All right, what do we else? Daedalic, publisher.
I can't pronounce it yet.
Daedalic, yeah. A couple of games. This is what we were saying at the beginning of the show here. We went in there to see one game. We ended up seeing 3, and the other 2 games we saw were just wow.
Yeah, like we went in.
I would say the highlight of the day.
Yeah, and in addition to the actual games that they showed us, I want to point out the PR reps that they had there. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Very friendly.
Very friendly.
Love talking to us.
We went to see the first game. We were there for an appointment to see the long journey home.
Yes.
And they were running behind on that.
We were an hour early because all of our other appointments went quickly. We were way ahead of schedule.
So instead of sloughing us off or saying they found us something else to play, but they talked to us in between too. And the PR, I was just the way that they actually interacted with it. I was really impressed with the way they've done that. And they said this is one of their first shows that they've done.
Yeah, they're from Germany.
Yeah, so did a fantastic job.
I think they're from Germany anyway.
Yeah.
They are at Gamescom. They said this is way different than Gamescom.
Yeah.
The first one we saw, though, is called Shadow Tactics. And this is a game I'm going to love because it's all stealth. It's completely stealth. And you're going to work in teams. So you're going to have 2 characters out of 5.
Yeah.
And
in different scenarios.
In many different scenarios. There is a story to be told. And you can control both characters at the same time. You can control them individually, or you can do what they call shadow moves, where you actually
preset the moves.
You preset the move you want each of them to do, and they say, now do it, and they both do it at the exact same time.
They execute at the same time.
Yeah, but completely stealth. Imagine Assassin's Creed, when you're crouching in the bushes, you see the guards, and you see their visions, their cone of vision. Yeah. You know where they can see you. You can walk up behind them and stealth kill them. It's all that stealth stuff I love to do, right? And it just looked amazing. Really isometric view, overhead.
Absolutely gorgeous game, too.
Beautiful game.
The art style was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Really, really looking forward to this. Again, called Shadow Tactics. It's like, I never heard of this game.
Yeah.
And it is like one of the highlights of the day.
Yeah, and releasing this year. The other highlight of the day is a little game called Air, A-E-R. And wow, this game is gorgeous. You can see here on the gameplay, very simplistic style. Kind of like what would you call it? Almost like a Zelda Wind Waker style artwork. You are this girl who can transform into a bird. You can see here I'm flying through the sky. When I jumped into this game, my first 5 minutes was literally just flying through the air. I wanted to see how high I could go. I wanted to just experience. I love flying. And this is yet another game you broke, by the way.
I did break this game, actually. I played this game. It's supposed to be a 7-minute trial, and it just ends the demo. For some reason, when my time was up, it reset the clock to 7 minutes and stopped counting down, and I was still playing.
Yeah.
But beautiful, beautiful game. Here he told me to fly through the clouds.
Yeah.
They've even rendered all the clouds.
The interior of the cloud.
It's just, it's cool. Really enjoyed this game though, but this is there's going to be a story. You're going to be following a story, and you'll be picking things up as you go and unlocking.
Yeah, you had to
puzzles.
Unlock the one part that you'd finished where you had to unlock some doors. So you had to track down and figure out how to unlock a set of doors.
Exactly. Yeah. And once you open the door, I go in, and there's a puzzle inside.
Yeah.
Beautiful looking game, though. I mean, the transformation between her and her bird form is just fantastic, know. And it's literally like a double jump. You just double jump, and she turns into a bird and starts flying, and then you can flap your wings. But I mean, so smooth, so beautiful. Yeah. I cannot wait to actually play this game for real.
Yeah, this year, and console and PC as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely amazing. And finally, at the end of the day. Oh, no, sorry.
Well,
Long Journey Home, before we leave Daedalic. Long Journey Home, this is a game Jeff's going to love.
Yes.
This is a space exploration you're lost in space. But quick story, you're literally lost in space. You have to figure out your way back. But it's resource management, it's character management. It is you're gonna have quests to do. You're gonna meet alien species, and you have to either gain their allegiance to maybe they'll help you out later, or if you do something they don't like, you'll become their enemy. Every story is different because when everybody starts it, the world is procedurally generated.
Yeah.
And you choose 4 crew members, and you can choose the different job types for your crew. But that's once you choose your crew, that is your crew for the game.
Yeah. When the last of them either makes it home
or dies,
your game is over.
The game's over.
So
the object is to get them all home.
Yeah, you're trying to get back to Earth from the other side of the universe with no jump drive. Basically.
And literally the other side of the universe. There was, he showed us the galaxy map, and there must have been
20 to 20 nebulae.
Nebulae. Whatever it's called, the galaxy. Sorry, yeah. This is the universe. He showed us the universe view.
Yeah.
And there was probably 20 galaxies in there that you have to get through. And the only way to do it is through different jump points. And
which you have to unlock,
or it might be controlled by an alien, and you maybe have to do missions for them before they'll let you through.
There's some neat stuff. I mean, the one point he jumped into an area, and there was some guy he owed money to.
So they stopped him.
It was like a bounty hunter coming after him for the money that he sort of took off. And did that. And there's decisions like we rescued some alien from an abandoned ship, and then somebody else stopped us.
Some other aliens wanted him.
Told us, this guy's he's a wanted criminal. We don't want you guys. Just give us this guy, and we'll let you guys go. Otherwise, we're gonna, blow you up. And Sean decided.
I said, let him go. Give it to him.
Hand the guy over. No problem. And the guy tells us immediately afterwards that the guys that he handed him over to were slavers.
This is the developer told us that guy we gave him to was slavers.
Yeah.
I'm like, but he had a whole fleet there. I wasn't gonna fight him.
Yeah. Sean didn't even try to think of it. The game was paused. We could have discussed it, whatever. No, immediately, hand him over.
So I didn't trust him anyway.
I certainly hope that the ride home from Boston doesn't get us in a situation where Sean's going to be like...
Just give him Tico.
Yeah, Tico.
Tico, you're out. Done. You're gone.
Yeah, so let's hope that doesn't happen.
All right. And finally, at the end of the day, you got to play a brand new board game that you've never played before.
Yes. Well, it's not a brand new game. We got a chance to play...
Brand new to you. Sorry, it's 7 years old now, actually.
Yeah, so it is called, I've written it down, Betrayal
at House on the Hill.
At House on the Hill.
Yeah.
And we got to try a new variation of the game that will be coming out. So we were lucky enough to get to try that. But I've never played before. So it was my first experience playing this game. It was fantastic.
I really enjoyed it.
It was really fun.
I've played the game many times before with friends, and I love this game.
I will tell you, one of the greatest parts of this is the fact that my first time playing a game, I actually got to sit down and play it with one of the guys who made the game.
Oh yeah, he was one of the original developers of the game.
So
was sitting there playing it with us.
Yeah. So it was really fun getting to go through that experience, but I really enjoyed the game, and I won.
Yeah. The basic objective is you are investigating or discovering a haunted house. When you go into a room that's not discovered, you discover a room, you flip over a random card that fits on that floor that you're on. There's 4 different floors, or 3 different floors, sorry, in this house. There's the basement, there's the ground floor, and there's the upper floor. And then you flip over a card, you place the room, and there could be an item in the room, there could be an omen opened up, there could be whatever.
Yeah.
You follow the directions on the room, and you're opening up this haunted house basically.
You're building.
Eventually, there's going to be what they call the haunt. And there are 50 in the base game. There are 50 different haunts.
Yeah.
And based on the room and the omen that started the haunt,
it tells you
which scenario you play. And at that point, one of the players is the betrayer.
Yes.
And that betrayer now has a list of objectives they need to do. The rest of the players all have another objective.
It's very similar to like Risk, where you have everybody has their own goals. So we were playing in a 5-player game.
Yes.
So 4 of them had a goal.
Although the game has nothing to do with Risk.
No, but in Risk you have like certain win conditions.
Yeah, but there are 2 win conditions. There's the betrayer's win condition.
Yes.
And then there is the rest of the adventurer's win condition.
Yeah, so 4 people have 1 win condition, and the betrayer has their own.
Something else.
And it's not known to like the
nobody. Yeah, no.
So the betrayer gets up, leaves the room.
Yes. Reads their notes.
Yeah.
Has to understand what it is they're trying to do and the rules associated with their role now.
And when something happens, you don't have to say why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I get attacked as the betrayer, and I don't take damage, and they're like, well, why didn't you take damage? And I just don't take damage. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to show them the rule.
Yeah.
It was really, really neat.
So you really enjoyed the game?
I won.
Of course, he won the game.
I love
Of course
winning.
he wins the game. That's why he likes the game, because he won.
But that being said, it was really fun. I enjoyed the whole way it was put together. I think it was a couple hours.
It took us 2 hours to play the game.
2 hours to play the game, so it was fun.
Yeah.
It did not feel like 2 hours.
It was a great way to finish the evening.
And we got to sit for 2 hours, which was good.
We got to sit for 2 hours after another very long day. But that is essentially it for day two here at PAX East 2016. Some very good games, but overall, I think Friday was a bigger day for us. And, I guess we'll see what tomorrow holds.
Sunday brings.
So thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. This has been an OMGNexus.com production.